today's walk, I brought you somewhere very different. It's not in the countryside, it's in the city. And the snow has gone away too, so I can even wear my normal shoes instead of my walking boots or wellies. Today, I brought us to the city of Durham. Here you can get some fantastic views. There's the train line, the houses of Durham, the city centre, and of course, the cathedral. We'll visit that a little bit later on. So from the top of Wharton Park, we're going to head on down hundreds of steps to the railway station. Come on. So we're going to head on down the hill from the train station towards Durham city centre. It's really noisy down here, so I'll have to shout. I think it's because of the snow we've been having, which has all melted now. The river is looking so full. Now we're near the city centre and we're walking across Gate Bridge. And over Gate Bridge is another cobbled street. This is called Silver Street, which goes up to the market square. There are lots of tiny wiggly alleyways off Silver Street which take you to different parts of the city. Well, we've arrived in the market square here in Durham, and there are lots of interesting statues around. In fact, I can see 3 of them and a huge church. Let me show you. The most impressive statue is this one. It's Lord Londonderry. Can you see him on his horse? With a very tall feathery hat. And here is Neptune, the God of the Sea. We're quite a long way from the coast in Durham though. There's even a tribute to the brave soldiers of the Durham Light Infantry. And here's the old town hall, but it's covered in scaffolding today. And the market hall's closed, but in the corner is St Nicholas's Church. There are lots of interesting things to see on the floor at the market square, but if you look upwards, the buildings are just as interesting too. And this is Sadler Street. I wonder why it was called Sadler Street. Well, let's have a look above some of the shops, because there are lots of interesting things to see. There's a colourful little puffin. There's an amazing golden teapot. Maybe this used to be above a tea shop. And above this cafe, there's a horse's saddle. Maybe this shop used to sell equipment for horses. There are lots of beautiful buildings on Sadler Street, but some of them are so old, they have to be held together by big metal staples in the wall. There's some crosses and an upside down S. Let's head down from Sadler Street to Old Elvet Bridge. Oh, I wonder what's down here. Durham is full of little alleyways which are really worth exploring. On Old Elvet Bridge, you can see the backs of the houses and the shops and the buildings. They're all squashed in together and lead steeply down to the river. Now I wonder which river this is. Yes, it's the River Weir. We've seen so much of the River Weir on lots of our walks. In the distance, well, there's a modern bridge. That's near the university. I think we'll probably walk over there a bit later. We're heading over Old Elvet Bridge to the County Hotel. And here's the County Hotel. Every year there's the Durham Miners' Gala, when brass bands from all over the area march through the streets of Durham, and important people stand on this balcony to listen to them. Up from Elvet Bridge, there's a big white building, which is the police station. And above the doorway, there's an old police sign with a crown on the top. Look at this building. It's made of concrete. It's part of the university. It's very different to the old buildings that we saw in the market square. Here's the concrete bridge I was telling you about. It's a footbridge, so it's just for people. It's called Kingsgate Bridge. And here we get our first proper view of Durham Cathedral. Come on. Hurry up. This is the rose window on the east side of Durham Cathedral. It looks amazing once you're inside the building because it's made of stained glass with all sorts of different colours. We're going to head up Duncan Lane, a very narrow street which takes us right up to Palace Green. Oh, now, this is Lygate. It looks like a doorway, but it was blocked up a long time ago. It was one of the many ways in and out of the castle walls. We've arrived at Palace Green, on top of the hill where the cathedral is. It's a famous place with lots of old buildings, including Durham Castle. And here's the entrance to the old castle. How many different shapes can you see in this tower? Look at this huge old wooden and metal doorway. And this boss at the top of the ceiling with a bell. Inside the castle is a circular courtyard. The buildings are amazing. Someone's filming us, filming them. Can you see this drone? On the sides of the walls, there are lots of coats of arms. On this one, I can see a mitre at the top, which is a pointy hat that bishops wear. Can you see the chickens? We'll leave the castle behind us. Let's go and have a look at the cathedral. Everybody's heard about Harry Potter. Well, some of the scenes from The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Chamber of Secrets and The Philosopher's Stone were filmed in Durham Cathedral. Can you count up to 325? Well, you're going to have to if you ever walk up the central tower of the cathedral. That's how many steps there are. And when the cathedral's open, you can climb up and get some great views of the city. Look at this old cobble street. In the olden days, they used round stones for the roads. Can you imagine coming down here on your bike or your scooter? Hey, hey, hey. This street's called South Bayley, and it goes down the hill to the River Weir, over a bridge. Durham's a tiny city, but it has a huge university, and students come from all over the world to study here. All of the buildings on South Bayley belong to the university. Do you know what this is? Lots of houses had these on their doorsteps in the olden days. It's a scraper to scrape the mud off your boots. We're coming up to Prebend's Bridge. Some of the students at the university row their boats on the River Weir. And this long brick house is a boathouse with a big green door and a slope going down to the river. This unusual thing looks like it's fallen off the top of a cathedral or a church. Actually, it's a sculpture and it's very modern. Time for a sit down next to the River Weir. Oh, I've noticed on this bench Can you see? It's the shape of an animal, a sea creature, or maybe a snake. We've come up from the River Weir, and now we're walking along this little narrow road to South Street, which is a really pretty street full of really posh houses. Let me show you. Come on. South Street has got cobbles too, but these cobbles are different. They're smoother and flatter. I think they're made of granite. Someone on South Street has put up a wonderful display of Lego models for us to look at. There's Olaf. Wow, a Lego tree. There's even Durham Cathedral. A beautiful bunch of flowers. I think they like Star Wars. Here's a big post box, but this is a very old post box. I can tell that because it doesn't say ER, it says GR. One of the reasons why I like South Street is because in the winter time, when there are no leaves on the trees, you can get the best views of Durham Cathedral. This house here is really decorative. It's got a carved wooden door and lots of stone carvings around the door and the windows. Do you remember we saw a train viaduct just like this one on my walk near Sunderland Bridge? That viaduct went over a river, but this one goes over the roads and the houses. We're by the road now, so it's quite noisy, but at the bottom of this giant pillar of the viaduct, there's an old water fountain. And this is Wharton Park Community Garden. It's a tiny garden, but it's really beautiful with lots of interesting things for people to see, especially children. I think I'll sit down and have a little break. Enjoy me banana. There's even a bug hotel. It's called Creepy Crawly Town. Can you see any creepy crawlies? There's even a beautiful mosaic on the wall. Can you see the viaduct and the train? It's made out of thousands of pieces of coloured tiles. And we've arrived back where we started, at the top of the hill at Wharton Park, which wouldn't be here if it wasn't for William Wharton. I hope you enjoyed my walk through the city of Durham today. Definitely come and visit if you've never seen Durham before. I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.